Hey guys, it's Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. And if you are new to the channel, thank you for finding us. I hope you're doing well on this fine day. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments below, what you think about this release. This is such a huge release. I'm talking about the Bruce Lee set. So this is like the release of all releases, the 4K Bruce Lee set coming from Arrow. If you are new to the channel, if you like Hong Kong cinema, if you like Bruce Lee, if you like Blu-rays and all that other fun stuff, please do subscribe. It is the easiest way that you can help the channel. And it really doesn't take anything from you. It takes like 2 seconds and you're done. I also want to give a shout out to my patrons who are kind of the lifeblood of this channel. So many of the releases that you see me reviewing, I purchase with money from my Patreon. You can go over there and you can sign up for $2 a month, $5 a month. I do exclusive movie reviews, exclusive Blu-ray reviews, wicked early release Blu-ray reviews, cut comparisons. I've done a fair number of those, like for instance, First Strike Japanese cut versus the US cut and like things like that. So you can go and check that stuff out. It would be much appreciated. Let's jump right into this video. It is Friday, April 28th, and the full list of features and details has been released for the Arrow Bruce Lee 4K 50th anniversary set. So if you don't know, 2023 is the 50th anniversary of the passing of Bruce Lee and also the 50th anniversary of the release of Enter the Dragon, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's a really big year for Bruce Lee. And so Arrow announced, I mean, this is a set that a lot of people have known about for a while, kind of behind the scenes, but Arrow officially announced it at some point within the past month or so, I believe. And now all of the details have been released. It is being put out on the 17th of July, 2023. And I am going to read you the full list of details. Limited 10-disc UHD Blu-ray collection contents. This is 10 discs, and it comes, if you look at the artwork, every movie comes in its own case, which is something that people very often with these large box sets, people in the fan community are upset by the way the discs are housed. And so what Arrow is doing is they're making it looks like an outer box, and then within that, every movie has its own case. So I think people will be very happy with that. This is limited edition. So there's actually two versions of this. There's a Tony Stella one. It has Tony Stella artwork, and then Tom Ralston did the other version. So there's two limited edition versions with newly commissioned artwork. It comes with a 200-page hardbound book featuring new writing by Walter Chaw, Henry Blythe, Andrew Stanton, Dylan Chung, David West, and James Flower. That's mega. 24 lobby card reproductions, 10 glossy photos of Lee in action, and a reversible poster with vintage quad poster artwork. So that's just like the accoutrements, if you will. Let's get into the discs. Disc 1, The Big Boss 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. So it has the 4K UHD Blu-ray presentation in Dolby Vision of the 99-minute 1983 version of The Big Boss, newly restored by Arrow Films from the original negative. Original, newly restored, lossless Mandarin, English, and Cantonese audio. 2 English mono options, the standard mix, and a Japanese mix with an alternate score. Newly translated English subtitles plus optional subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing for English dubs. 2 brand new feature commentaries, one by David Desser and one by Brandon Bentley. Hell yes, Brandon Bentley's all over this set, which is exciting because Brandon is awesome. And I really like the bonus material that Brandon contributes to the films. And if you don't know what Brandon actually does, he does the audio for all this stuff. So everything that you're listening to when you watch these movies on Blu-ray, he works with so many labels. He's like the man for audio. Return to Thailand, a new documentary produced and presented by Matt Rutledge exploring the original filming locations. Newly uncovered, deleted, and extended scenes with optional commentary by Bentley. The Not Quite Biggest Boss, a video essay by Bentley investigating the scenes still lost, such as the saw in the head scene. So if you don't know about this, there's a very famous picture from the set of this film where Bruce Lee has like got a saw in some guy's head and there's like blood coming out and everything like that. And no one knows if that scene was ever shot. Well, as far as I know, I'm sure there are some Bruce Lee experts watching this video who know more than I do. As far as I understand it, no one knows if that scene was ever even shot, or they just took that photo and they were trying to figure out how to shoot the scene or whatever, or if they did shoot it, whether it exists. So it's a very famous thing in Bruce Lee lore. Archival interviews with co-star Lao Wing and stuntman Tung Wai. Bruce Lee versus Peter Thomas, a short video essay about the music for the English version. Alternate credit sequence. Trailer gallery, including a Before the Big Boss reel and a trailer for the Lost sequel, The Big Boss Part 2. Image gallery. Okay, now disc 2, this is something that people are so excited is being included on this set. The Big Boss The Mandarin Cut in 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. 4K UHD Blu-ray presentation in Dolby Vision of 3 alternate versions of The Big Boss with lossless mono audio, newly restored by Arrow Films, including the 110-minute Mandarin cut with restored Mandarin mono, the 100-minute English export cut featuring the rare English dub track, some scenes are in Mandarin, and the 100-minute US theatrical cut. So there's 3 alternate versions of The Big Boss on here, which is awesome. I've only seen one version of this movie, and I honestly don't know which one it is. I saw it like when I was in high school, and then I watched it again when it was on Netflix not that long ago, and it was like definitely the same version I had seen before, but I don't know which version that is. So this is going to be really interesting for me. Newly restored English subtitles for the Mandarin cut, subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing on both English cuts, access of English, a brand new video essay by Will Offutt profiling the English dubbing actors for The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, and Way of the Dragon, and an unrestored raw scan of the Mandarin cut, which is 1080p only. What? I didn't know that was on here. I'm reading this for the first time, so I knew they were including the Mandarin cut. I didn't know they had the unrestored raw scan. That's really cool to include that on there. Okay, disc 3, Fist of Fury. This is my favorite Bruce Lee movie. 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray presentation in Dolby Vision, newly restored by Arrow Films from the original negative, alternate English export cut viewing option with a different opening and closing credits via seamless branching. That's cool. Original newly restored Mandarin, English, and Cantonese mono audio, 2 English mono options, the standard mix and the Japanese mix with alternate music, newly translated English subtitles plus optional subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing on English dubs, 2 brand new feature commentaries, one by Jonathan Clements and one by Brandon Bentley, Legend of the Dragon, oh, I've heard about this, a newly filmed 80-minute overview of Lee's life and career by film critic and historian Tony Raines, Visions of Fury, a new featurette on Bruce Lee's collaboration with Golden Harvest and Lo Wei, featuring interviews with co-producer Andre Morgan and martial arts experts Michael Worth, Frank Jeng, John Crane, Andy Cheng, and Bruce Willow. And I've heard of that one too. That's really awesome. I'm really excited about that. There's so much amazing stuff on here. This is ridiculous. And like, other than The Big Boss, which, like I said, I watched when it was on Netflix, I haven't watched Bruce Lee's movies in like probably 15 or 20 years. So this is like a really, really good reason for me to go back and revisit. Archive interviews with co-stars Nora Mew, Riki Hashimoto, Jun Katsumura, and Yunhua. Alternate credit sequence, trailer gallery, including the Chen Zhen trailer reel, and image gallery. Disc 4, The Way of the Dragon, 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. 4K UHD Blu-ray presentation in Dolby Vision, newly restored by Arrow Films from the original film elements of the Hong Kong theatrical cut and the Japanese cut via seamless branching. Original newly restored lossless Mandarin, English, and Cantonese mono audio on the Hong Kong theatrical cut. Alternate lossless English mono on the Japanese cut. Optional newly translated English subtitles for deaf and hard of hearing on both English audio options, 2 brand new feature commentaries, one by Frank Jeng and Michael Worth. Hell yeah, you know I love them together. I've talked about that a lot on this channel. They just make a really good pair. And one with Brandon Bentley. Hell yeah. The Way of the Camera, a new documentary looking at Lee's filmmaking and fighting method in his directorial debut, featuring interviews with Golden Harvest producer Andre Morgan, martial arts experts Michael Worth, John Crane, Andy Cheng, Frank Jeng, David Young, film historian Courtney Joyner, and actors Piet Schweier, John Ben, and John Saxon. Wow, what? That sounds awesome. Meet the Italian Beauty. No, this is not about me. I'm not Italian. A newly filmed interview with star Melissa Longo, The Scottish Soldier Meets the Dragon. A newly filmed interview with on-set observer John Young. Newly recorded select scene commentary by thug actor Piet Schweier. That's amazing. He plays the thug. Archive interviews with co-stars John Ben, Bob Wall, and Huang In-shik, and production manager Chaplin Chang and Louis Sitt. Trailer gallery, including a Bruceploitation trailer reel, that's cool, and an image gallery. Disc 5, Enter the Dragon. So this is 40th anniversary special edition Blu-ray, courtesy of Warner Home Video. So what this is, and I'm going to read you all the material here, but it's worth stopping here to point this out. It's the 50th anniversary of Enter the Dragon, like I said. So this is the 40th anniversary Blu-ray release that Warner put out that I guess Arrow was able to license to put into this set. So it would be a complete Bruce Lee set, because most Bruce Lee sets do not have Enter the Dragon because Warner Brothers owns it. So I'm assuming what Arrow did is they went to Warner and they were like, we want to put Enter the Dragon in this set. And Warner was like, you can have our 10-year-old Blu-ray release of it. And then later this year, I think Warner is doing their own 4K version of Enter the Dragon, which is probably why there's no 4K in here. I think that was maybe the deal that they struck. Like, sure, you can have all our overflow, our extra copies that are in storage of the 40th anniversary version. But still, I mean, it's a Blu-ray, so it's a restoration. It's a 40th anniversary special edition. High definition 1080p Blu-ray presentation of the extended 1998 special edition of the film. 5.1 DTS HD surround English audio plus additional audio options in Russian, Castilian, French, German, Italian, Polish, and Latin Spanish. So I know that a lot of Castilian speakers have been really wanting to see Enter the Dragon in a box set with other Bruce Lee's other films in 4K. So this is perfect for that. English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, plus subtitles in other languages. It just says plus subtitles in other. There's probably a lot of them, and they probably just didn't want to list them. Feature commentary by writer Michael Allen and producer Paul Heller. Featurettes: No Way as Way, Wing Chun, the art that introduced Kung Fu to Bruce Lee. Return to Hans Island, Blood and Steel, the making of Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee in his own words, and Backyard Workout with Bruce Lee. That sounds like it could be a saucy video. The Curse of the Dragon documentary, interview with Linda Lee Codwell, 1973 archive featurette, Hong Kong with Enter the Dragon, theatrical trailers and TV spots, disc 6. There's still 4 discs to go. Game of Death, 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray presentation, 4K UHD Blu-ray presentations in Dolby Vision, newly restored by Arrow Films from the original film elements of the international cut and the Japanese cut via seamless branching. Original newly restored English mono audio on both cuts, English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, brand new feature commentary by Brandon Bentley and Mike Leader, the two of them together, which I'm really excited to see how that goes, to see like what their rapport is like and what they talk about and stuff. The Song I'm Singing Tomorrow, a newly filmed interview with star Colleen Camp, deleted and extended scenes from the Chinese language version of the film, including 2 alternate endings, which contain some standard definition material. Archive interview with co-stars Dan Inosanto and Bob Wall, behind-the-scenes footage as featured in Bruce Lee the Legend, rare pre-production sales feature from 1976 with new commentary by Michael Worth and producer Andre Morgan, fight scene dailies directed by Sammo Hung, that's awesome, locations featurette from 2013, trailer reel including Bruce Plantation and Robert Klaus at Golden Harvest trailers reels, and an image gallery. So, Disc 7. This is another exciting thing that's on here, the alternate versions of Game of Death. So these are high-definition Blu-ray presentation of the Chinese version of the film. Original lossless Mandarin and Cantonese mono audio, newly translated optional English subtitles, archive interview with Casanova Wong from 2001 on his relationship with Sammo Hung and Lee's influence on him. 2 alternate Cantonese and Mandarin versions of the film in high definition via seamless branching with different credits, ending, and reinstated Ji Han Jae fight, which contains some standard definition material. Archive featurettes on Lee's life and impact. The Hong Kong Connection, Bruce Lee Remembered, Legacy of the Dragon, Dragon Rising, and The Grandmaster and the Dragon, featuring interviews with Sammo Hung, Donnie Yen, William Chung, and many others. Archive interviews with Robert Lee, Phoebe Lee, Pat Johnson, George Lee, Gene LaBelle, Van Williams, John Torrenova, Jeff Imada, Linda Palmer, Fred Weintraub, Tom Kuhn, Paul Heller, and James Liu. That is hella interviews. There's so much stuff on here. It's like, how would one even review? Like, how would you even do this as a review? It's like impossible to even consider. Like, even just doing a movie, a disc at a time or whatever, would take forever. So Disc 8 is the Game of Death bonus disc. The Final Game of Death, a brand new 3-hour video essay, oh my god, by Arrow Films that incorporates a new 2K restoration of all 2 hours of Lee's original dailies from a recently discovered interpositive. What? That's insane. This is like legit film restoration, archival, like important historical work that they're doing on this set. This is incredible. Game of Death Revisited, an earlier attempt to reconstruct Lee's original version from 2001. Super 8 footage from 1974 of Dan Inosanto demonstrating the nunchaku. So if you don't know who Dan Inosanto was, he was a sparring partner of Bruce Lee's. And he introduced Bruce Lee to nunchucks, and so that's why Bruce Lee used them in his film. So he's like a very kind of important person in the history of martial arts films because of that. Brief archival interview, and it's actually probably worth mentioning that Dan Inosanto, has his own martial arts studio where he teaches and has his disciples teach and stuff like that. And it is probably about a mile from where I'm sitting right now. It's just down the hill going that way. And I actually took martial arts for about a year and a half with one of his disciples who teaches at that studio because they offered that at my work on like lunch break for free for whatever reason. Brief archival interview with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from 1976 and an image gallery. Disc 9, Game of Death 2. Brand new 2K restoration of the international cut of the film titled Game of Death 2 by Arrow Films from the original film elements. High definition Blu-ray presentation of Game of Death 2, as well as the Hong Kong theatrical cut entitled Tower of Death, which contains some standard definition material. Original lossless English mono audio on Game of Death 2, original lossless Cantonese Mandarin and English mono audio on Tower of Death, English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing on Game of Death 2, and optional newly translated English subtitles on Tower of Death. Brand new feature commentary by Frank Jang and Michael Worth, co-producers of Enter the Clones of Bruce. So that's a documentary that they made that is, I think, actually showing at Tribeca this year. They finally finished it. They've been working on it forever. Archival interview with co-star Roy Horan. Alternate Korean version with unique footage presented in high definition with original lossless mono audio and newly translated English subtitles. Alternate U.S. video version in high definition with lossless English mono audio via seamless branching. Alternate end credit sequence for Game of Death 2. Trailer gallery and image gallery. My friend, we have come to the end. We are on disc 10. That sounded like a Dr. Seuss sentence. So let's see what's on. Disc 10 is entitled Documentaries. Multiple. Yeah, there's multiple documentaries in addition to the stuff that's on as bonus material on the other discs. High definition 1080p Blu-ray presentation of Bruce Lee, the Man and the Legend, and Bruce Lee, the Legend. So the Man and the Legend is from 73 and the Legend is from 84. Original lossless Mandarin mono audio for the Man and the Legend and lossless English audio for both films. Newly translated optional English subtitles for the Man and the Legend and subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing for both films. Alternate video version of The Legend featuring different editing and credits. This is in standard definition only. Archive video tour of Golden Harvest Studios, conducted in the mid-1990s by Russell Cawthorne, writer of Bruce Lee the Legend. That sounds awesome. What? I want to see that. Alternate animated Hong Kong credits for Enter the Dragon, trailers, and image gallery for both films. Is this out yet? Did it take me so long that it's July 17th already to read everything that's on this set? July 17th of 2023, we are getting a 10-disc 4K UHD / Blu-ray release. This has got to be it. Like, this has got to be the be-all, end-all, ultimate Bruce Lee release of all time that everyone has been asking for and wanting for years, and now it is here from Arrow. My name is Will. Please do let me know in the comments what you think about this set. You are watching Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society as always. I thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.